final stanza of John McCrae's famous poem In Flanders Fields presents a challenge to those who will follow in the footsteps of those whose lives were lost in the Great War. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you with failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. And this challenge of McCrae was met with many poetic responses. Moyna Michael, an American teacher from Georgia, was instrumental in starting the poppy campaign in North America. And she responded that not only was that torch caught, but the poppy is now worn, and the lesson of war, she writes, has been learned. Her poem is titled, We Shall Keep the Faith. O you who sleep in Flanders fields, sleep sweet to rise anew. We caught the torch you threw, and holding high we kept the faith with those who died. We cherish too the poppy red that grows on fields where valor led. It seems to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies, but lends a luster to the red of the flower that blooms above the dead in Flanders fields. And now the torch and poppy red wear in honor of our dead. Fear not that ye have died for naught. We've learned the lesson that ye taught in Flanders fields. C.B. Galbraith, an Ohio educator, paints a darker picture though, yet still commits to fighting the fight. A fight that he's welcome to fight, he says, even until death. His poem is titled, In Flanders Fields, an Answer. In Flanders field, the cannon boom, and fitful flashes light the gloom, while up above, like eagles, fly the fierce destroyers in the sky. With stains the earth wherein you lie is redder than the poppy bloom in Flanders field. Sleep on, ye brave, the shrieking shell, the quaking trench, the startled yell, the fury of the battle hell shall wake you not, for all is well. Sleep peacefully, for all is well. Your flaming torch aloft we bear, with burning heart and oath we swear, to keep the faith, to fight it through, to crush the foe, or sleep with you in Flanders field. As we continue to recite McCrae's masterful poem, it behooves us to consider our own response today and how we too can and should keep the faith and carry that torch.
Some 30 years ago, we had a special surprise to discover that Adath Israel had 165 war veterans in its membership, men and women. And when letters were mailed out to invite all of the veterans and their families to join us for the next November the 11th service, it was an unbelievable Sabbath event that filled this sanctuary. That was the exciting event that made the large display hanging in our lobby with the names of our 165 war veterans prominently shown to be honored in every respect. Many of you remember those early years when November the 11th made Adath Israel very special, and we even had a color guard of 4 veterans carrying the flags right up to the bema. And when the war veterans were called to please stand to be identified, wow, what a moment that was. We kept that momentum going all these many, many years. And today we are very proud that the veterans who still remain are able to be involved with this Sabbath event. Thank you, everyone.
Carry on, Canada. Carry on, Canada, a call from shore to shore, from the rugged Rocky Mountains to the wilds of Labrador, from the frozen Arctic regions to the southern border line, a call from our great empire and the answer yours and mine. Carry on, Canada, we will not lose our liberty. Since the mighty challenge thundered across the troubled sea, we're right behind you, England. We'll never let you down. We'll keep the old flag flying for our country and for our crown. Carry on, Canada, for those who died to gain an everlasting peace for us. Now they have died in vain. No, their glory shall not perish, but he honored as of old. Our dominions ready once again with strength a millionfold. Carry on, Canada, with Britain for our guide. We'll fight right to the finish and crush that heathen tide. The road's ahead not easy. It requires our strength and pluck, and the heart of Britain's beating in every true Canuck.
As we approach this Jewish Veterans Remembrance Shabbat, I'd like to share a book that had been given to me several years ago, and I think it's appropriate for this moment for me to be able to share it with you. This book is something that was very familiar to our veterans, to our Jewish veterans, during World War II. The title is Readings from the Holy Scriptures for Jewish Sailors, Soldiers, and Airmen. On the cover is a maple leaf with the Jewish star. And at the front, it says the following: a message from His Majesty the King. To all serving in my forces by sea or land or in the air, and indeed to all my people engaged in the defense of the realm, I command the reading of this book. For centuries, the Holy Scriptures has been a wholesome and strengthening influence in our national life, and it behooves us in these momentous days to turn with renewed faith to this divine source of comfort and inspiration. It's dated 15th September, 1939. This book was published in 1943 and was again given to Canadian Jewish sailors, soldiers, and airmen. I'd like to read the dedication at the back because I think it speaks to us as we are gathered here to remember our veterans and all of our Canadian Jewish men and women. It says, to our Jewish men and women in the armed forces, the Holy Scriptures are your special heritage as Jews. They are also the Jews' principal contribution to our present-day civilization. The freedoms for which we are fighting in this war have their origin in the Bible. The teachings on the very first page of the Bible, that every human being is created in the image of God and therefore has a spark of the divine in him, has given sanctity to human personality and has endowed every man with the right to freedom, equality, and the pursuit of happiness. The Bible has been the Jew's constant companion in all his endless wanderings. It brought him courage in times of trial, inspiration in the hour of victory. It is in the hope that it will be of similar service to our Jewish sailors, soldiers, and airmen that the Religious Welfare Committee of the Canadian Jewish Congress have made this volume available in its present handy form. I hope that this message, which was given to our soldiers more than 70 years ago, is something that will resonate with us even today, that the values of our tradition are those which are worth fighting for and holding up each and every day, and particularly as we remember our veterans. Thank you.